During these uncertain times, our agency provides many sparks of hope for homeless, vulnerable, and at-risk children, youth, and families in the Mid-Michigan community.
It's a really great feeling to know that maybe not every single one of them, but at least one of them is not going to be on the street anymore. And that's the ultimate goal.
If we see somebody from an elementary school and we have a therapist that specifically sees children from elementary schools, they're really addressing the issue.
We have family and individual mental health counseling. We provide therapy to children, couples, families, adolescents, young adults.
I've seen this program have a huge impact on people who go from having multiple severe substance use disorders and self-injurious behavior to learning coping skills and finding ways to see hope for their own future when they maybe didn't before.
Child welfare is comprised of foster care, licensing, and adoption. All three of the programs work interchangeably to try to pursue permanency for children that have entered the foster care system. There are thousands of children that are in the foster care system in the state of Michigan. Those children need someone to care for them during a time that is probably the toughest time in their life.
Once we receive a child who's came into care, we really work with the parents so they are able to get their children back. Reunification is always the goal.
Angel House serves adolescent girls that are parenting or pregnant. We are one of 2 programs in the entire state of Michigan, so we take kids from all over the state.
A lot of times it's difficult to find foster home placement for a teenager, let alone a teenager with their own child.
Every single teen mother don't have the same support system at home. Everybody got a different situation.
So Gateway is a shelter for runaway and homeless youth, and we serve youth in the community that are kind of struggling to have a stable environment to live in. So whether that is like conflict at home or housing problems for the family, we have 2 different programs that can serve them. Our emergency program, which is Higher Ground, and then we have our long-term program, which is Crossroads.
A lot of times when parents or community members see youth that are acting out, they just jump towards, well, they must be using drugs or they must be involved in the wrong group of friends. And a lot of times it's the youth that has experienced some sort of trauma and they haven't been able to talk about it, or they don't understand that what they're experiencing as a result of that trauma.
We are the only program here for youth between the ages of 16 and 21. A lot of housing programs, you have to be 18 or older. There are a lot of homeless youth in our community, so we saw a need and we filled that gap.
You know, some of these kids are the sweetest kids, but they just were given a wrong hand in life. You know, my mom had this boyfriend, he didn't like me, so, you know, he told me to leave. Or I got in a fight with my parents over something minor and they told me to leave. Or they don't want me around because I'm gay.
When a youth comes into the shelter, I think one of the most important things to do is address any immediate concerns. Someone is thirsty or they need something to eat. I think it's really important to address those things right away.
Some of our young people, they haven't eaten for days, or they're eating out of a dumpster. In general, as people, we take for granted this little things like having clean socks, having clean underwear, having an option to take a shower. So those things are so, you know, oblivious to someone that has them, but when you don't have them, it's everything.
Teen Court is a program for first-time juvenile offenders. We deal with youth ages 11 to 16. We're finding that a lot of youth are having trouble with crime and having trouble with substance abuse.
It's a diversionary program where it gives kids a second chance when they have that one lapse in judgment. It basically allows them to get back on track. And it's not that we forgive it and they walk away. They have to now show they've earned an opportunity to get a second chance.
If they're struggling with peer pressure, we want to give them mechanisms to resist peer pressure. If they're struggling with depression or substance abuse, we want to give them those tools to make better decisions.
So Child and Family Charities fills such a critical need in this community. We reach thousands of people every year, and we're only able to do that because of our amazing staff.